It's over for Ron DeSantis. Hey, did you catch the Trump speech in New Hampshire last night? Was that not beautiful? Yeah, that we'll be on in just a moment live. That speech of President Trump was like his best speech ever, and then he ended it with taking random questions from the audience. Oh, that was beautiful. Hold on, guys. Here we go.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, it is Friday, and what an exciting Friday it is. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Show. And man, is this an exciting day. Ron DeSantis' campaign is over. I'm going to walk you through that in just a bit. It is over. And it's a beautiful thing. Did you guys catch President Trump in New Hampshire? Holy smokes. That was the best speech ever. And at the end of it, President Trump, he took random questions live from the audience. Have you ever seen a president of the United States do that? He just decided to turn it into a town hall. And it, of course, shows you the difference between President Trump and this senile old coot that's got to have questions written on a card telling him who to call on with a photograph and the answers and everything else. That was just amazing yesterday. So we're going to talk about all these things. And, of course, it is Friday, and on Friday's program, it is Open Phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. You are not limited to just the topics that Steve and I bring up on the program. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. And I did a poll on my personal YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on the YouTube. If you guys don't follow me there, you should. But I did a poll on my YouTube channel, and this is an amazing poll, and I just want to share this with you before we get into the collapse of Ron DeSantis' campaign. And he's got a new nickname. I hope President Trump picks up on this new nickname for DeSantis because it's so good. But I did a poll yesterday on my YouTube channel, and the question was a simple question in the poll, and there's 3 answers. Will you still watch Fox News? Over 5,900 people have responded to this poll. So this is a poll. I did my own poll on my YouTube channel. Over 5,900 have responded so far. You can still go and vote. And I'm going to read you the results here. Now, this is amazing. 5,900 people responded to my poll. That's larger than pretty much every poll you see in the news on presidential elections and things. So that's a huge sample. So I want you guys to understand how many people answered and responded to this poll. 5,900. So here's the question. Will you still watch Fox News? And this, of course, is in the aftermath of Tucker and Bongino. Will you still watch Fox News? There's 3 answers. Nope, I'm done. Probably, and undecided. 10% said they're undecided. 12% said probably. 12% said probably. Probably. Hard to say this early. 79% said, nope, I'm done with Fox News forever. 79% said, nope, I'm done with Fox News. Wow. And let me tell you, if you were one of those 10% undecideds, or those 12% that said, yeah, probably, I'm still going to watch it, Fox News did not carry this historic speech by President Trump in New Hampshire yesterday. If Mike Pence would have gone up and talked to 6 people, that would have been, oh, live, Vice President Pence. Oh, Nikki Haley with 7% of the latest poll. Nikki Haley speaking. Let's go, Fox News had a complete blackout on that Trump speech yesterday. Even when he took the light, you wouldn't even know. If you got your news from that Neil Cavuto, you wouldn't even know that it happened. But 79% of those I polled, over 5,900 respondents, nope, I'm done with Fox News forever. So, yeah, that's awesome. So am I. So am I, and I'm better for it. I feel better. It's been an energetic week for me. That's right, and it's Friday. So that is exciting stuff, people. So Ron DeSantis is completely done. Now let me give you some background, and then I'll explain to you. Now, Ron DeSantis, I'm going to go through that poll again later because I think it's a great poll. You know, when you're running for president, and if you go back in the presidential campaigns of long ago, most presidential campaigns have a moment when the person either makes it or they don't. President Trump had a few, but maybe the biggest one was in the debate when, if I were president, you'd be in jail, crooked Hillary, you crook with your money laundering Clinton Foundation and your predator husband. That was like a defining moment. I knew Jack Kennedy. You're not Jack Kennedy. I paid for this microphone. I promised not to let my opponent's youth, and all that stuff against him. You remember all that stuff? There's all these quotes. Ron DeSantis did himself in when he went to Japan on the Right Said Fred tour when they pointed out about the polls to him, and they asked him about the polls. Let me share this with you. Let's see here. You've seen this quote, but that now it's made it big time.
Governor, polls show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Look, I'm not a candidate. Oh my goodness, I'm not a candidate. There's a smarty pants there, and he had this strange look on his face. And you know what they're now calling him? You know what they're now calling Ron DeSantis? Because of his bizarre body language? You know what they're calling him now? Bobblehead Ron. That's right, Bobblehead Ron. Now, we're going to take our first break. Yeah, Bobblehead Ron, I like that. I hope President Trump picks up on that. When we get back from the break, I'm going to go through why it is completely over for Ron DeSantis. Not only is he unelectable forever, he could not get elected as dog catcher anywhere in the state of Florida. And I literally mean dog catcher. If he went and ran for the local city council, he would lose. He's that unpopular in Florida. But he doesn't quite know it yet. But even though he was so unpopular and unelectable forever, he did himself in, put a little bow on the top of that unelectable package with this, with that weird body language. So they brought in a body language expert, and I'm going to share with you what the body language expert says and explain to you in detail why it is over for Ron DeSanctimonious. Bobblehead Ron. Now our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Again, it's open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Anything and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm Brian Craig, back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action.
That's right.
Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. This sales event will be held at one location.
Yeah, so they brought in this body language expert, so I'm going to go through that when we get back, but there's a big reason why he cannot recover. Oh, man, this is... Yeah, Bobblehead Ron. Do you guys like that? Bobblehead Ron. Let's see if we can get that hashtag going. Oh, my goodness. Isn't that a good one? Do you guys like that? Bobblehead Ron? I think it's a good one. Oh, man. How exciting. Doesn't get more exciting, huh? Does not get more exciting. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm so glad it's the weekend because I've been like up here energy-wise all week long. Now, there's going to be some new podcasts over the weekend. My daughter's going back to California this weekend, so Kathy and I will catch up on podcasting. Our daughter has been with us. She came home for my birthday for the last couple weeks, and now she's going home. So, I know. Exactly. So, we'll catch up on podcast over the weekend for sure. Where am I? Yeah. I picked out the new MAGA scooter, the MAGA scooter 2.0. Kathy wants me to buy it today, but I don't know. It's hard for me to buy things for myself. It's at a store down the street from the radio station. But I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go look at it when I get off the air. Bobblehead Ron, that's right. That's right, Bobblehead Ron. That's what Kathy said. Go buy it. It's a beautiful one, too. I'm going to go look at it when I get off the air. Then I'd have to buy it and come back in the afternoon and pick it up because I need a ride to the place. All right, this is the last commercial. We'll be back. If I get this scooter, the MAGA Scooter 2.0, I'll have to sell the MAGA Scooter 1.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, welcome. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Oh, man, I want to tell you guys about Elegant Youth. Elegant Youth, of course, right next door to Any Lab Test Now of Boca. And you got to ask yourself this question, and I know the answer to it, and you know the answer too. Are you tired of dealing with stubborn pockets of fat that you just can't get rid of? No matter how much you diet and starve yourself, no matter how much you exercise. Well, Elegant Youth Boca have a solution for you that's safe, effective, and FDA approved. It's called Cool Sculpting. And for a limited time, Elegant Youth Boca is offering Cool Sculpting for Steve Kane Show listeners only at 50% off. But you got to tell them you heard about them on the radio. That's right, 50% off. Now, Cool Sculpting, it's a non-invasive body contouring procedure. It uses cooling technology to freeze and eliminate fat cells in targeted areas of your body. It works on fat all over your body, your stomach, under your arms, your neck, back of your neck, the quadruple chins. Wherever you have fat, it works. Again, it's FDA approved. There is no surgery, no anesthesia, or downtime. The results are natural looking and long lasting. So imagine feeling more confident, more comfortable in your own skin without the really intense liposuction procedure. It does what liposuction does without that intense procedure. Go online and watch a video of liposuction. You're like, what the heck? With Cool Sculpting, you get the results you want without disrupting your daily routine. And again, for a very limited time, 50% off. But you got to mention you heard about them on the radio. So call right now, schedule your consultation, take advantage of this 50% off offer, and say goodbye to that stubborn fat and hello to a slimmer, more confident you. Cool Sculpting is safe, it's effective, it's affordable, and it's 50% off. Call Elegant Youth at 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. Online, elegantyouthboca.com. elegantyouthboca.com. All right, so bobblehead Ron DeSantis, it's over for him. It's completely over. And they brought in a body language expert, and body language expert explains why DeSantis was animated when asked about the polls and made that weird facial expression in Japan. Ron DeSantis' awkward response to falling poll numbers has critics speculating that he is extremely shaken by the prospect of the drop-off in standing against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. They don't say in the article the greatest president ever. They say former President Donald Trump, but you know. The Florida governor has not yet announced a run for president, but his recent travels and continued national and international presence has fueled speculation that he does plan on running. Trump's increasing lead seems to have shaken Ron DeSantis. Asked about an NBC poll released Sunday that showed DeSantis trailing by 15. By the way, that's the closest he's been to Trump, and he's way behind that now, okay? The Florida governor appeared visibly caught off guard. The exchange with reporters in Tokyo, Japan on Monday has been viewed 7.7 million times in just one clip posted to the Twitter shortly after it happened. One Twitter user noted, "Yes, the video is real. Ron DeSantis is just weird." Body language expert Judy James, I love the body language experts. Don't you guys love the body language experts? They're awesome. Body language expert Judy James analyzed Ron DeSantis' response and breaks down what could be going through the governor's head as he processes his new position in the ever-changing. There's no changing. Trump's been won by far from always. But let's get to the body language expert, and she takes this stuff very serious, okay? DeSantis' body language in this brief moment suggests a surge of conflicting emotions and a desire to present a sense of bravado to counter the question, the body language expert explains. A reporter asked DeSantis during a quick stop with the press in Tokyo on Monday, "Governor, polls show you trailing behind Trump. Any thoughts?" During the question, DeSantis, who was standing alongside his wife and Florida's First Lady Casey, remained still with a neutral look, almost leading towards a frown as he processed what the reporter was asking. The contrast between his initial state and the one he chose in the light of the question is powerful, says the body language expert. She continued, as he listens to the question, he adopts a mouth clamp and a cold, hard-looking eye expression. With two micro lifts of the chin, see, this is very scientific. With two micro lifts of the chin, the message appears to be about power and dominance. His eyes fall to the lower left to absorb the question, and with the eyes still in reflection mode, he seems to throw up responses that might be conflicting. There is a sudden desire to look pleasant and even amused as his eyebrows raise and he performs a strange-looking eye smile, adding to some micro shrugs of his torso. The effect seems to be one of bravado. After the question was asked, DeSantis quickly shifted his facial expression to a more alert state and shot back, "I'm not a candidate. So we'll see if and when that changes." See, that's the entire denial. Well, I'm down in the polls because I haven't announced. You're down in the polls because you betrayed Trump and said you wouldn't intervene if Bragg came down here with his Soros guys and tried to arrest the president. You're a liar, bobblehead Ron DeSantis. For the entire first part of the sentence, Governor DeSantis nodded his head in circles with his eyes wider than usual. He looked away towards the side when completing his short response and smiled before walking away with his wife. James, the body language expert, says that his head wobbles could be compared to the way a baby rejects food with body language. His head begins to wobble. See, this is where bobblehead Ron comes in. His head begins to wobble, which in turn becomes two or three circular shapes in the air. This looks like a blend of emotions working at once, says the body language expert. A neck wobble can be formed to signal aggressive arousal in the face of a threat or an attack. The circles might be prompted by a desire to reject in a similar way to how we will turn our heads from side to side like a baby rejecting food. His final smile looks like overkill as he is already appearing to turn to leave. James suggests, that's the body language expert, that DeSantis was also taking cues from his wife, who was by his side for the entire time. He might like to take cues from his wife, who stands beside him wearing a stormproof smile as his emotions appear to go through an odd form of leakage, the body language expert concluded. Oh my goodness. Bobblehead Ron, the body language expert's not good. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break, come back with your calls, and I'll also tell you why it is completely over for Ron DeSantis. Even these Trump hater Bushies and Karl Rove with his whiteboard and his canned ham looking face on Fox News are going to drop Bobblehead Ron before it's over. All right, it's the Steve Kane Radio Show. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Those of you on hold, please stand by. We will take your calls after the break. I'd very much like to hear your thoughts on what I'm talking about. However, it is open phones always on Fridays. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. That's right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take that break for the bottom of the hour, and we've only just begun, people. This is a big day. We got lots of stuff to talk about. I've only just begun. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is this not exciting? So tell me yes or no. Bobblehead Ron. Is that a winner? Yes or no? Bobblehead Ron. That is, in my book, that's awesome. She said wobble. I came up with the bobblehead. You know, I think that's good. I like to get credit for that one. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a great one, isn't it? Oh, one no. Who are you? Why do you say that's not good? You Mary doesn't like bobblehead Ron either? Oh, my gosh. I think it's awesome, if I say so myself. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Awesome. Let's see here. Hold on. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, welcome and subscribe. Everyone, please like the video. I love it, too. Sabrina says she loves bobblehead Ron. I like it. I think it's awesome. Okay, I won over per. Yeah, I think bobblehead Ron's a winner. Oh, yes. Absolutely. That picture in the thumbnail was when he's answering the question. Oh, my goodness. How exciting. Yes, who am I dressed as today? Can you figure it out? Fetterman. This is my Senator Fetterman outfit. Now, I've actually, under here, I've got a Space Force shirt on. Space Force, making space great again. It's in the same, it's like the same font as Star Trek The Next Generation, but it says Space Force. Make space great again. Underneath. Yeah, I have to have the hoodie on, and I'm not wearing shorts, basketball shorts either. It's either Fetterman or, yeah. Yeah, I can broadcast like this. Oh, by the way, did you guys see this? Has anyone seen the video, the camera footage of Steven Crowder with his wife? Oh my goodness. Have you? I want to probably talk about that on the podcast with my wife over the weekend. I'm not doing it on the radio today because the radio listeners, they don't really probably know who Crowder is too much. But oh my goodness. It's a, oh yeah, this one. Oh, believe me, this hoodie, I wash it. I just washed it yesterday. Steven Crowder is in big trouble. He looked like a jerk. He's arguing with his wife who's pregnant, telling her she can't take the car to go grocery shopping because it's the only car they have, and he wants to go to the gym, and talking about she's got to do her wifely duties, which I don't know if that means shopping or sex. I don't know what that means. But Steven Crowder looks bad in that, doesn't he? Looks bad. This divorce is going kind of like that Johnny Depp Amber Heard divorce. Well, I don't have respect for him after he recorded that guy from the Daily Wire. I mean, I don't even know who that guy is from the Daily. I mean, I know who he is now, but people recording someone secretly like that and then playing it publicly, I just don't. I don't respect that at all. Yeah, but he's in big trouble. If she wasn't pregnant at the time, it'd be a little different. Maybe. Elon can't go and buy everything. Hold on. I got to get organized for the next segment.
Family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathic, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the Northeast corner of PG Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us.
All right, coming back.
Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, and we're talking about bobblehead Ron DeSantis. It's over, and this one is the end. This bobblehead Ron thing is he's already done with MAGA, right? We're done with him. That press conference when Bragg Soros and he said I'm not going to intervene when he had the ability to. That was it, and then he made it worse many times over. But what happened with the bobblehead Ron remark in Japan is going to be the end with his support from the Bushies, the war criminal Bush family that lied about weapons of mass destruction, Karl Rove and all the rest, and Paul Ryan. And the reason it's going to be over is not just because of the polls and everything, it's because he has become what is the end of many a politician, in particular presidential candidates. Bobblehead Ron DeSantis has now officially become an object of ridicule. When you become an object of ridicule, you're done, right? This happened with Dukakis and the tank. It happened with Al Gore in 2000 on many occasions. It happened with John Kerry in 2004. Once a candidate becomes an object of ridicule, they're done. they'd get in less trouble if they got caught with a hooker than being an object of ridicule. And I'm not kidding, by the way. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm very grateful that we found about him now and not in 2028. He could have been the second MAGA president after Trump's second term, but he blew his cover. All right, so let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Chris of MAGA Martin County.
Hey.
Thank you for a great broadcasting week on your part. Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, so I stopped watching Fox News, like yourself and other listeners. And then, I was watching Newsmax around 3:30 yesterday, and I had no idea that Trump was speaking in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what he did to start off the speech? He introduced every council member of their state government. There was like 50.
Well, no. Let me correct you on that just a little bit. He gave the name of every elected official that had endorsed him in New Hampshire that was there, and it took about 45 minutes. Those names were people who endorsed him in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay, so I got it wrong. But I mean, I was there.
That's awesome. Yeah, on Newsmax.
No, I would never have known if I was not watching Newsmax at 3:30, because they said in 30 minutes we're going to broadcast Trump, but he really didn't come on until like 4:10, 4:15.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and by the way, welcome to all of our new listeners who have abandoned Fox, okay? Because welcome to our program. If you're new to the program, and I'm serious about that. I was talking to Steve this morning. Our listenership this week has gone through the roof, and part of it is the exodus and betrayal, the exodus of Fox viewers and the betrayal by Fox News. And they're not going back this time like last time, okay? But that speech yesterday, I think was, I know I say this every time because they're all great. That was like the greatest speech ever that our great president gave. Yeah.
He covered everything, but there's one more thing I would like to bring up to you, okay? It's not bad.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
No, it's okay. It's about baseball and the increased number of runs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so I don't know if you're aware of this or the listeners are aware of this, but this year they implemented a new rule where the pitcher has to deliver a pitch within 30 seconds. And the reason they did this is to speed up the games from 3.5 hours to 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And so what this does, with only 30 seconds, the pitcher can't outsight the batter.
Oh.
So if he defaults, it takes too long, then it's an automatic ball.
Okay.
But a ball.
That's interesting.
If the batter takes too long, it's an automatic strike. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, this shows you it's open phones. See, what had happened was a couple weeks back, NBC News had this story that there's been an increased number in home runs in baseball, and they're blaming global warming changing the air temperature, allowing the balls to fly faster and higher when they're hit by the bat. And now you're giving us some real information as to why there may be an increase in the runs. I appreciate it. All right, take care. And Martin, I was just in Martin County on Saturday. I was up in Stewart, and I love MAGA Martin County. My wife and I were redoing parts of our house, and we're actually going to Martin County to buy things. We're going to, I'll give a free plug, Nautical But Nice. And the liberals, Nautical But Nice is like the most MAGA business I've ever been in my life. And they ran them out of their location in Stewart, and they've opened up a new one. And I love Martin County. That Martin County is the most, even though some liberals live there like Tori Amos, if anybody knows Tori Amos, Tori Amos lives in Stewart. And I don't know if you even know who she is, but I do. And some people do. The ladies do, right? But Dan Bongino lives there, and it is the most pro-Donald Trump community in America, Martin County, without question. I've never seen anything like it. It's more MAGA than the Villages. It is. All right, hey, take care.
Yeah, we got all here.
Oh, yeah, take care. Thanks for the call. In fact, when my wife and I, we have people visit Florida from other states, and they're like, where should we go? We always tell them, go to Stewart. And we've had friends of ours from California go to Stewart, and they'll call us, and they're like, I just can't believe what I'm seeing here. I know it's Trump country. All right, good morning. You're on the air.
This is Mike from Louisiana. So we're talking about bobblehead Ron, right? And look, here's the thing though about bobbleheads. Bobbleheads haven't been a thing for 20 years. I mean, I remember way back when you could go to a baseball stadium or whatever, and they said, oh, we're going to have a bobblehead night for such and such a player, right?
Uh-huh.
And you'd get a bobblehead, right? Well, this is a bad thing, you know. When you're looking like a bobblehead or a Pez dispenser, you know, think about it.
Well, when you become an object of ridicule and you're running for office, you're over. Little Marco, Jebs the Turtle, you know, and the first debate you were standing right next to me. Now you're at the edge of the stage. On the next one, you're going to be off the stage. You know, when you become an object of ridicule, you're done as a presidential candidate, and that's I've seen it happen every election cycle, and it's happened with DeSantis before he even announced.
Right, and think about this. You mentioned what's his name with the tank, but 4 years earlier, Mark Mondale decided to use the whole "Where's the beef" thing, you know, as his slogan, and that's when his campaign ended, when he decided to use that as a slogan, right? That's
right. It happened to John Kerry too with the Swift boat veterans.
Yes, sir. I mean, this is a guy. I mean, when he decided to unmask himself, Ron DeSantis, and
oh yeah,
to do that with his book.
Oh yeah, that was it. Hey, listen, Mike, thanks for the call. And by the way, I always want to take an opportunity to give myself credit for this. You know, that Swift boat veterans ad that brought down John Kerry almost 20 years ago, I am the creator of that ad. I'm not kidding. You know, the one where they said, you know, you heard John Edwards, who was his running mate, who said, if you want to know about John Kerry, talk to the men who served with him 20 years ago in Vietnam, and then they had all the Swift boat guys. I created that ad, and that is true. PJ Gladnick from Newsbusters, who calls in sometimes, wrote an article about it at the time. Many people have claimed credit for that ad. But I created that ad and shared it with the Swift boat veteran guys, that national ad. And there's even some guy, you know, a lot of people take credit for that Swift boat veterans for Truth ad, but I created the original one. And what had happened is we had the Swift boat veteran guys on this program before anyone else did nationally. I had a contact and everything. And John Edwards, when he said, if you want to know about John Kerry, talk to the men who served with him in Vietnam 20 years ago, said that at a speech at the Fort Lauderdale airport. It was carried only on local news. And I took that clip of John Edwards and created a radio version of that ad that we played on the radio that day. And then I called up the Swift boat veterans people and played it for them over the phone, and they created the television ad based on my concept. And so, yes, I brought down John Kerry, and I guess I'm responsible for the war criminal George W. Bush's re-election, in a way. But regardless of that, John Kerry, after that ad, became an object of ridicule, like bobblehead Ron is right now. And that moment is when it was over for him. All right, we'll take our last break of the first hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back after this.
The cold, hard truth.
All right, where am I?
Right here on the Steve Kane Show.
Where am I here? I got to get organized. Hold on. All right. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, there's over 1,000 in the live stream right now. Please like the video. That helps a lot. All right. Let me see. I got to get my stuff together here. This has just been a gangbusters week of programs. Let's see. Oh, man. How exciting. How exciting. That speech yesterday by President Trump in New Hampshire was the best. It just was the best. I mean, I just was blown so away by it. Let's see here. Hold on. All right. I'm organized now. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you. Wookiees, I'm glad you're all back and better, Wookiees. How you feeling today, Wookiees? Good to see you back in the chat, man. Oh, yes, his dreams were crushed. Well, you got to listen to the first 45 minutes of the program. The chat wasn't the same without you, Wookiees. Ah, yes, welcome one and all. My name is Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, and just a fabulous. This has not been a great week of programming. Oh, my goodness. That speech yesterday by President Trump was just so good. I watched the whole thing, and the questions and answers at the end, random questions from random people in the crowd. I've never seen a president do that before. Biden can't even take questions from his prepared friends in the fake news media. Now, Mother's Day is right around the corner, and of course, there's only one place to do Mother's Day shopping. That is mypillow.com. And when you use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, there's huge deals. Now, when I tell you that, you know, you got to jump on these specials at mypillow.com, I'm not joking. You know, yesterday, well, the last few days, I'd been promoting the My Pillow, My Slipper special. They ran out of the slippers. They're sold out of the slippers. The special's over because the slippers are gone. I told you guys. I don't know, what do we have, 2 days, 3 days of that promotion? I hope you got in. My wife ordered hers. Oh, my goodness. I know. So when I talk about these specials, take advantage. And I want to talk about the My Pillow Mattress Topper 2.0. Now, my wife and I have been sleeping on the 3-inch My Pillow Mattress Topper for over 2 years, but my daughter is home visiting from California, and we bought a My Pillow 3-inch Mattress Topper 2.0 for her for the guest bed, and she said that the first night she was here, she slept without it. And she said it was like sleeping on a slab of concrete. And then the next night she slept on the My Pillow Mattress Topper 2.0, which has cooling technology in it. She said it was like sleeping on a cloud. Well, you know, I've had a very busy week, and if you were listening to yesterday's show, I was about to have a stroke with Steve, and I was a little tired yesterday. I took a nap, which I don't do often. I took a nap, and I asked my daughter, said, hey, let me borrow the guest room. I got to try out the My Pillow Mattress Topper 2.0 with the cooling technology so I can tell everyone about it. Oh, my goodness. It is such an upgrade on the previous My Pillow 3-inch mattress topper, and it was hot yesterday, but it's got that cooling technology. It's perfection, and it makes a great Mother's Day gift. Comes in every mattress size there is, and with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, the 3-inch My Pillow Mattress Topper 2.0 is 40% off and free shipping. 40% off and free shipping, but you've got to use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, Kane. All right, let's go back to our busy phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark.
That was a great speech I saw in New Hampshire.
Oh, it was perfection. Where'd you watch it?
RSBN.
Oh, they carried it. Okay. That works.
And you know, one of the things that have respect for Trump and he connects to people, every rally he gives credit to all the politicians in that state. And
well, those were I just want to restate that. The names that President Trump read off at the beginning were elected officials in New Hampshire that have endorsed him. He was reading off the names of elected officials who had endorsed him. I know it was a long list. It sounded like every official other than their idiot governor in the state of New Hampshire, but those were just officials who endorsed him.
Pretty impressive. He gave off perfectly 51 names.
Oh, my goodness.
Crooked Joe Biden could never do that.
Oh, no. Did you stay for the end when the president took the questions from the audience? Oh, it was beautiful.
And it was really awesome with his different format. He was walking through the crowd to people.
It was awesome.
It was a great speech. So
yeah, all right. Take care. So Fox News's ratings have gotten so low, they've lost half of their audience. Listen to this. Fox News rating slump below MSNBC's in time slot. Tucker Carlson dominated. So MSNBC, who's third in the ratings, by the way, MSDNC, MS13BC, I got all kinds of names for them. MSNBC is beating Fox in Tucker's slot now. Wow. Now here's the kicker. This is amazing. So yesterday I played a few times Tucker Carlson's video. Remember he made that video? Now he made a video and just put it up on Twitter. He didn't put it anywhere else, Tucker. He just put it up on Twitter. Tucker's video that I played yesterday on Twitter was viewed by almost 70 million people. 70. That's crazy. MSNBC's All In with Chris Hayes won the 8 p.m. time slot Wednesday night, outperforming Fox News and Anderson Cooper over on the Clinton News Network, CNN. Yeah. Chris Hayes. Who? Yeah, Chris Hayes. You don't even know who he is, and he's beating Fox. It comes after Tucker Carlson's departure from Fox, whose show had consistently dominated the time period. Wow. This is beautiful. And I know, you won't know this, they think that the people are going to come back just like last time. No, they're not. They're not. Fool me once, the whole thing, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And people are not going back, and it's a beautiful thing. And that speech, I'm so glad the speech was yesterday. I thought it was going to be over the weekend. It caught me off guard, too. And it was not aired on Fox. You wouldn't even know that it happened or was happening if you got your news from Fox. So Fox, this is the arrogance that they have for you, for me, for the viewers that have made them rich and famous. They hate us, they hate you, and they think we're stupid. They think they could fire Dan Bongino and Tucker Carlson for nothing other than their support of reporting the truth, and we're going to go back just like last time. It's not happening. It happened once. It's not going to happen again. Now, there's an unrelated story I want to talk about just briefly before we take the top of the hour break. The woman who made the accusation against Emmett Till, the famous lynching tragedy, she passed away. And I want to talk about this just for a moment because it's important. Emmett Till, the white woman who accused Emmett Till and got him lynched, so goes the legend, she passed away. This is, Emmett Till, I want you guys to understand this. Emmett Till was lynched by Democrats. And what happens, with these Democrat lynchers, and Emmett Till and his family, they were Republicans. Did you know that? It's not in the stories. Emmett Till's family were Republicans, voted Republican, and he was lynched by Democrats. And what happens, see, they got the story off. The story with Emmett Till goes, there's different variations. That he whistled at a white woman, that got him lynched. He was hitting on a white woman, that got him lynched. You mean to tell me in 1955 Mississippi, a 14-year-old black teenage boy is going to go out and start hitting on a white woman? Of course not. See, what happens, these Democrat racists, they, for whatever reason, they went and lynched him. And then one of those Democrat lynchers went to his wife and said, "You're going to be my alibi. You're going to say he was whistling at you and hitting on you." And back in those days, in the Democrat-run Deep South, the interracial relationships were illegal, and that would justify the murder. So she didn't make the accusation, and then they went and lynched him. The Democrats lynched Emmett Till, and then one of them went to their wife and said, "You're going to be our alibi." You understand? The history books are filled with lies on that. And it's important to understand that about what really happened. Because Emmett Till, sad story, it's an important story, but what happened should not be misrepresented, because when they misrepresent it, the leftists misrepresent it when they talk about it. It makes it sound like Emmett Till instigated something. There's no way in heck that a teenage boy in 1955 Mississippi was out hitting on white women in the streets. That's crazy. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And it puts that fake story version that they have, puts some of the blame on Emmett Till doing something so stupid. That would be like going to south side of Chicago and start screaming out the N-word. You'd get killed. They might arrest and convict them, but people would say, what were you doing yelling the N-word out on the south side of Chicago? You deserved what you got. You understand? That would be the equivalent if Emmett Till was hitting on a white woman. He did not. She lied, and she lied after her husband took part in the murder of Emmett Till. So, these people with their revisionist history just tick me off. And then finally, the passing of Jerry Springer. He was a liberal Air America talk show host, and I called Jerry Springer on the air on his nationally syndicated radio show and nailed him. It was when Bush was president, and Bush was lowering taxes, and Springer did this whole thing about how it was patriotic to pay taxes and unpatriotic to want lower taxes. And I called him up on the air. I got on the air, and I knew a little bit about Jerry Springer. He had 5 houses and a private jet. One of them was in Naples, Florida at the time. And I said, "Jerry, you said it's unpatriotic to want lower taxes." He says, "That's right." I said, "Jerry, you're a millionaire many times over. You have 5 mansions and a private jet. You have an entire accounting firm making sure that you pay as little in income tax as possible. So how are you patriotic and I'm not, because I'm trying to save a few bucks?" It was dead air. He was silent for like 5-6 seconds. Steve heard it. He was listening in the car coincidentally. Dead air. And then Jerry Springer said to me, "Brian, you know what? You got me. I'm a hypocrite. You're absolutely right." I couldn't believe I wish I had it on tape. Oh my goodness. Some of you longtime listeners may have heard that call. It was Jerry Springer was on Air America Radio briefly. And that's when I called him on the air. That was beautiful. In fact, if I remember correctly, I called Steve first. That's why I said, "Steve, I'm going to call Springer. I'm going to nail him. Turn on the radio." But I do give the late Jerry Springer credit. In that moment, in that call with me, He was something you don't get much from liberals. He was honest, an honest liberal, at least in that conversation he had with me. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our top of the hour break and be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
That was beautiful. Yeah, right, Brian, you got me.
Canales Media Group, broadcasting from the Rope Studio. Injured recently? Call the Ropes
Ugh.
Line, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Ropes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
Oh, man. I wish I had that call on tape. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, what was the, does anyone know, prior to Air America, what was the black radio station in New York City where Lynn Samuels was on the air? Does anyone remember that? The station Lynn Samuels was on, she was the only white person on the station. It was a black radio station. I forgot the call letters in New York City. LBS. I think it was LBS. It was a WLBS? I want to say that sounds familiar, like Libs. BIS? BL? Was it BLS? Let me look up Lynn Samuels, and because she was on that station, so maybe in her bio.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's a reason why I'm asking that tells you all about liberals. I'm gonna. Let's see. LIE. I think it was LIE. Hold on.
Barbecue food tent, bars, mint tulips, fun activities, and more. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com. Here's your True Oldies ABC.
No, I don't think it was LIE.
The government reported a significant slowdown in U.S. economic activity the first 3 months of the year. The gross domestic product rising 1.1% during the winter. Word of another round of corporate layoffs.
The Gap is laying off 1,800 corporate employees as it continues to try to cut costs. That's more than 3 times the 500 job cuts it announced back in September. The San Francisco-based retailer says the layoffs will come from across the company's brands, including its namesake line, Old Navy, Banana Republic, and Athleta, and will primarily affect workers at its offices there and in New York. But interim CEO Bob Miller says regional store managers will also be impacted. Miller expects to complete the job reductions by July. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Returning from a training flight, 2 U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopters collided midair and crashed near Healy, Alaska. 3 crew members killed, a 4th hospitalized. This is ABC News.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. What's that? Meditation? I'm recommending the
Oh my goodness.
auto attendant and more than 50 features. Yep.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Over 1,100 in the live stream. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're new, and please like the video. Oh, if you missed the first couple segments of the stream, you missed a lot about Bobblehead Ron, but I'm going to go through it again. Don't worry. One more commercial after this, then we're back. I'll take some more calls. Oh my goodness. Oh, this has been an exhausting week of shows. The news has been so hot. Well, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you. Doing a show is like running a marathon. Here we go.
1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you missed the first hour, oh my goodness, did you miss a lot? But you know what? About an hour after we sign off the radio every morning, about an hour after that, the entire show is uploaded to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. And Mike, our board op, actually timestamps everything that happens in the show. It's amazing. And so if you missed the first hour, that was one of the most amazing hours in the history of this program. I must tell you, it's over for Ron DeSantis, and I'll recap all of that as the show goes on. Some of it, and Steve will be joining us later, and I'll go through some of that. But the bobblehead Ron discussion is, and Ron DeSantis has lost another major supporter here in Florida. We'll get to that in just a bit. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Cassandra and Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Oh, how are you? Well, you're going to probably like this. They say that imitation is the greatest flattery. Well, you could be flattered. I was driving around about 11:30, and I put on the radio to see what other people are saying. And this guy, I think his name's Manny. I don't know if you know that guy. But anyway, he was talking about DeSantis, and almost word for word, exactly what you said about him with being the governor, not being able to run, and they shouldn't do it. I said, man, this guy, I said, if it wasn't for a different voice, I think it was you.
Well, Manny, I know who you're talking. Manny, many years ago, used to be my boss when I worked at WINZ in Miami. Manny was my boss long ago. And I got a Manny story that I'm not going to tell on the air, though. I've told a lot of my radio buddies off the air a story, but I'm not going to tell it on the air. But yeah. So he, that's great. So he's stealing my material. That's okay.
Yeah, you're influencing a lot of people, man, and it was great. You're building. Like I said, you're the next Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Anyway, one of the things I couldn't call yesterday, but one of the things I wanted to say yesterday is it seems like a lot of us must be behind the times, because these days of men can be women, and you can change your gender, and you can do everything. I guess there's nothing wrong anymore with being able to have no sex and be raped.
I don't know. You were doing well on the first part of the call, but let me try to rescue you from the other thing. There's a story that came out yesterday that says 1 in 4 high school students identify as LGBTQ, trans, or questioning. You mean to tell me that 20% of high school students are not straight heterosexual? How's that even possible? It's nonsense. The reason that there is an increase in the number of gays and all these other things, okay, is because it's an option that wasn't there before, and there's so much positive, suggestive messaging going on in society. That's why that's happening. And it's been, when my daughter was in high school, I started seeing this, and it was one thing in particular. I used to pick my daughter up from school every afternoon, and there were these 2 guys that were like in 11th grade, 10th grade or something. They had their shirts off, and they were sitting on a bench in front of the school with their arms around each other, rubbing each other's backs. And my daughter got in the car. I said, you know those 2 guys? And she said, yeah. I said, they're gay. And she says, no, they're not. I said, yeah, they're gay. I said, we had some gays when I was in high school, but they weren't, but the guy, 1 or 2, but they weren't, hugging each other. She's like, no, that's just how guys are. They're bros. And I was like, no, that's gay. That's gay. That's not. And now we have all these, with all this this positive messaging towards that. That's why if 20% of teenagers are not heterosexual, how would the species grow and maintain itself? because they don't reproduce.
I don't know what happened. I know when I was a kid, man, if there was a pretty girl, everybody was trying to want to talk to her.
Yeah, and something else.
Messed up. Yeah, well, everything seems to be messed up these days. I don't know what's going on, but I think blame it on the media. The media keeps pushing this crap, and everybody keeps falling for it and talking about it, and they go, "Oh, no, it's okay."
Yeah.
Rub some boys back as a boy, man.
Well, you know, I gotta tell you though. Okay, when I was starting out in radio, when I was young and single and starting out in radio, you know, radio is, you know, part of the entertainment industry. So there were always a lot of gays in radio. And my whole circle of friends were people that worked at different radio stations. We probably were jerks. There were like 10 of us, and we all worked at different radio stations, and my one friend, he does a morning show in Detroit now, and he worked at Zeta in Miami, and we'd have the radio station van and do all this stuff, and another buddy of mine worked at Y100, and we were all going out and everything else, and a lot of them were gay, and I kind of liked it at the time, because when there was an eligible girl around, well, I was basically the only one. You know what I mean? Either the other guys that weren't gay, they either had a girlfriend or something that weren't as, you know what I mean? It kind of made it easier. So if I were in high school today, and 20% of the guys are not straight, that's to me, that makes it a little easier for me to find a girl. You know what I mean? But what I've been saying for a long time is that all this trans and gay and gender stuff is a fad. It's a fad, and that's another reason why there's an increase in it.
I certainly hope that the fad is going to go away, because, man, this is terrible. I mean, there'll be the end of people. There'll be no more people eventually. This is it's not right. Something's wrong. I don't know what the hell is evil.
Well, a lot of it's China. It's part of the attack that China is launching on our country through TikTok. You know, these weirdos that you see making the TikTok videos, you know, the all these trend, you know, China is TikTok, and they're pushing these freaks and geeks to everyone's phone and promoting it as much more normal than it is and much more acceptable than it is. Hey, Doug, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Now, Toby, that's what you're doing.
What? Come on. Are you? What is this Roots you're playing in the background? Yes. I'm doing. Yes, I heard the dialogue from Roots, Kuta Kinte, and Toby in the background. What are you trying to do?
Now, Emmett. About Emmett Till.
Yes.
Till, you're gonna dismiss the story from the family members who were there, Brian? Come on, man. Come on. You're gonna dismiss that whole story. The family members were there. The cousins were there with them the day this happened. You're going to dismiss that whole story of what they have to say. Yes, it's like saying my name is Kunta Kinte, but you say my name's Toby.
Okay, now before I respond, excuse me, hold on a second here. Before I respond, explain to me what you think I said.
You dismissed that what the family members said that happened with Emmett Till. The family members were there.
Now, okay, let me tell you what happened. Okay. Emmett Till was lynched. He was murdered by racist white Democrat men, correct? We agree on that. Slow down. We agree on that, right? Emmett Till was murdered by a group of white racist Democrat men, correct?
You can label them.
Oh, he doesn't want to disparage the reputation of the lynchers, you know. Okay, I'll leave off the Democrat. Emmett Till was lynched by a group of white men, right?
Happened. You came on.
Yes. Slow down. You might, if you stop talking, you might learn something and find out that we actually agree. No, excuse me. I've done extensive research into the history of Emmett Till and lynching. When I was in college, I was a history major, and I had to write a thesis for my graduation, and I wrote a thesis on the last lynching that happened here in South Florida to Reuben Stacy when the sheriff of Broward County lynched a black man off of Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, and I did a lot of research into all of this. Let me tell you what I said about, let me tell you what I said about Emmett Till. The testimony doesn't matter. They were testifying in 1955 Mississippi court, okay? This is what happened, okay? These racist Democrat men snatched Emmett Till and murdered him. The woman in question that's in the news today that just died was the wife of one of the men who lynched Emmett Till. So after those monsters murdered Emmett Till, they went to the wife of one of them and said, "You're going to be our alibi. Tell everyone that Emmett Till hit on you." They thought that would excuse what they did. So she did. Emmett Till, a 14-year-old black teenage boy in 1955 Mississippi, was not out whistling on the street and hitting on white women. That's a death sentence.
Testimony of what happened that day. The cousins,
the people in the family were under duress because they were in Mississippi in 1955. Don't you get it?
At the store.
And they were under pressure because they did not want to get lynched. Don't you understand that they were being threatened too? Oh my goodness.
Was there, and the NAACP interviewed the cousins. What are you talking about? You said you're a history buff?
No, I'm not a history buff. I'm a historian, friend. A history buff is someone who knows about the outside of things like you and doesn't get into what really happened, okay? And I'm here to tell you that you are disrespecting Emmett Till. You are laying some blame on Emmett Till that he would do something stupid, which is in 1955 Mississippi, start hitting on white women on the street, especially married women. And I know that Emmett Till wouldn't have done something stupid like that because I respect Emmett Till and I don't want to disrespect his memory like you were doing.
No, you don't respect him. You don't respect him. Emmett can't tell the story. His cousins can.
His cousins in Mississippi in 1955. Yeah, okay, all right. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show.
These people.
On air now. 888-GO-KANE-1.
Don't you got? I mean, so. Yeah, she said. Yeah, but they don't believe her. She lied. Yeah.
So she can tell the story.
Exactly.
Herself, but that's discredited.
Exactly. So you guys get what I'm saying. And this guy here, when I picked up the phone, was reenacting a scene from Roots with LeVar Burton when they were telling him his name was Toby, not Kunta Kinte. I mean, give me a break. He was surprised I knew what he was doing. These people. Oh my goodness.
They're very friendly and they have great customer service. Visit anythingscooters.com or give them a call directly. 954-226-8710. 954-226-8710. 954-226.
He just doesn't want to hear it. Do you think the testimony of African Americans in 1955 Mississippi to a court and cops is under duress? I would say yes. Well, thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was the Democrat sheriff of Broward County, Florida, which is where Fort Lauderdale is, lynched a guy by the name of Reuben Stacy, not far from the house I grew up in. It's one of the last lynchings that occurred in this area, but it was in the 30s, and they lynched him and took pictures of it. And I did a paper in my senior class about it, and I did so much research into him and Emmett Till and these high profile, because there's a similarity. They always, when these Democrats would lynch, when these white racist Democrats would lynch a black man, they would always go and try to get a justification for it with witnesses to back them up.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell
It's
you about
terrible.
my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside.
By the way, if you're new to the program, please subscribe. There's over 1,200 in the live stream, so please like the video, guys.
Specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Garrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, welcome back. I'm Brian. It is Open Phones, and great calls so far today. All the callers were great, even that last guy. He can't handle the truth. You know, I am so excited that the Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer is back. I have this camera. It is just an amazing and a beautiful thing. You know, you can always know who's at your door. You can talk to them by not even answering the door, through the door, even if you're not home. It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, you can get a free doorbell camera if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050. No matter where you're located, by the way, call them. Maybe they can help you. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. If you're one of the first 40 listeners to call, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman's Shield, so you can see your home right in the palm of your hand no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's, they're also going to give you customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call now. This is a limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. All right, and again, it is Open Phones on Fridays. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and I wasn't going to call, but boy, that last call, I had to call in and just say that that guy's in such denial, and I'm glad you were able to slow him down a little to give him the facts. But you're right, I can't believe how in denial people.
Well, what happened was, you know, I was talking about how I did when I was in college in my senior year. I had to write like a thesis, a huge paper, right, on it. And there was the Democrat sheriff of Broward County lynched a black man not far from the house I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, where my mother still lives today. And his name was Reuben Stacy, and he was lynched by the sheriff of Broward County, a Democrat, and on Davie Boulevard. And they renamed part of Davie Boulevard for him. So I did a research paper on that because it happened where I grew up, and I couldn't believe, and I even found where I believe I found where it happened. It's a little difficult to prove that, but I think I've located where it was. And when doing that, I researched a lot of other lynchings, including Emmett Till. And anytime these Democrats murdered a man, they would always go mostly to a woman, and claim, and she would claim things. This lynching by the Democrat Broward sheriff in Fort Lauderdale, they found a white woman who said that he tried to come on to her, just like Emmett Till. And most of these lynching cases that made it public, that's what they did. And to say that Emmett Till in 1955 Mississippi, as a 14-year-old black teen, was hitting on white women in the street during the day, that like blames him. That like makes, because he did something that would be insanely stupid. It disrespects Emmett Till. And by the way, Mike the board up came in to remind me, the woman who just passed away that's in the news, she admitted that she lied to protect her husband.
There you go. I mean, no doubt. I was reading the article out loud yesterday to my husband. When I saw it, I went ahead and I said, now what was, because I don't know everything about history as much as I'd like to, but, and as I read it, and I read that there were black witnesses saying that they heard and witnessed him whistling, and I said the first thing
Give me a break.
was, well, I said, the first thing I said was, well, they threatened to kill those people if they didn't say that on the witness stand, because I know what it was. I was born in '57, so I know how bad things were.
Yeah.
Could be. And I said that's the first thing they did was threaten.
Listen, when I was a kid, when I was a kid in the 80s, I first moved to Florida. My grandparents had retired to Okeechobee, and this is like 1979 to 81, and I'd visit them during the summers. Blacks were not allowed out on the streets at night. Not by the law. I mean, it wasn't against the law, but you'd be dead. Yeah, that's right. And and that's how things were. And to say that Emmett Till whistled at her, see, they got her to say that because that in their minds, in 1955 Mississippi, it made a justifiable homicide.
A man that lynches a person and murders another person. I mean, that wife was probably in fear for her life. Her husband would beat her to death if she didn't.
Yeah, that's right. And I, there's a lot of revisionist history goes on. I mean, look at what's happened with some of these other incidents like George Floyd, and George Floyd. Whatever happened to George Floyd, they shouldn't be naming youth centers after him. I mean, what happened was terrible, but he's not someone to start naming streets and schools and centers after.
Well, there was, in fact, you mentioned George Floyd. There was a wall against a building that somebody had painted a big mural of his face, and it got hit by lightning and was destroyed.
Oh, my.
Isn't that weird? But,
yeah.
The revisionist history, like you said, the thing that makes me sick is how they say that all the first black politicians were Republican, including, I have a dream. I can't even think of the names right now. Sorry.
Martin Luther King was I can't tell you the story about that because I got to take a break. But anyway, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're late for the break. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it.
Great calls today. Okay. Oh, man, great calls. If you're new to the program, welcome. No, what happened was wrong, but he's not the kind of person you name things after, I mean, what happened to Rodney King was god-awful and wrong, but you don't, want to name things after Rodney King. You know what I mean?
This report sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo. More at allofreshfromflorida.com and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's Traffic, I'm Zach.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC Sports Card and Memorabilia Show is coming.
Rodney King died years ago. Actually, Rodney King is very interesting. He was on, Rodney King was on Dr. Drew's Celebrity Rehab Show. Do you guys remember that show? And it was amazing how, I was really impressed with Rodney King. He was like the voice of wisdom in the house of celebrities in rehab.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station West Delray. And
Rodney King's been dead for years. I don't remember how long ago. So far, just a great show just so far, though, Bill, right? That's okay. I'll take a slight out of any compliment. Personality defect I have.
versus all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561
I don't know what Rodney King died from. I don't remember. It's been so long.
This sales event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Make that switch to City Kia. City Kia presents
No, 91. Yeah, the Rodney King incident was in 91, but he died in the 2000s.
Everyone's a winner. TVs, iPads, and gift cards up to $500. Save thousands on a new City Kia. Rates as low as 2.9% on select models only. Get up to $5,000 over KBB for your trade. City Kia will even deliver.
2012, I can believe that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Restrictions may apply. You will beat any valid offer by 500.
Really, Debbie? Wow.
Kia's Orlando 500. Race for the record. This sales event will be held at one location only. City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Visit us at citykia.com. Make that switch to City.
A swimming pool drowning? Oh my goodness. Does anyone know what made Jerry Springer famous? What made Jerry Springer famous? Does anyone know? Pretty simple. When he was mayor of Cincinnati, he paid a prostitute with a personal check. That's how he got famous. That was before the show. Yep. Crazy. That's right. I know, isn't that nuts?
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented...
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. That's what made him famous.
while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, my goodness. Great calls today so far. Great calls.
I think I've told you this story that I'm about to mention, and I need your help with this. Sometimes with the math and the dates, because I think I told you, I think this is not a new story for you, but when I was in high school, now how old was I? When was that?
When you were in high school, I don't know. Who was the principal? Cotton Mather? I'm not sure. It's a while back.
It's a long time ago.
I didn't know they had high schools back then. Wasn't it one of those one room schools?
It was definitely a senior high school because it was my senior year, and I was writing my term paper for, it was either English or history, I'm not sure which. Mr. Gardner, I remember, was my teacher. And I wrote what I thought was a brilliant research paper. My source was all these great history books from the bowels of the New York Public Library on 42nd Street. And I researched it meticulously, and I had all these great sources. And I turned in the paper, and Mr. Garner gave me an F on the paper. And I went and spoke to him about it, and I said, all this came right out of my research that I did.
Yeah, I know this story. I just don't know if you should share it. No, I'll let you dig or tell the story.
Why would you not share it? It was how
When you were in high school, I don't know, a long time ago. But I wouldn't tell that story. I wouldn't be bragging about that story. But you
it's from my life history. What kind of?
Yeah, well, that's the kind of thing you want to not bring up. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't be showing that story off. But you can finish. You can finish. I'm not telling you not to finish, but I'm not going to finish it for you.
Seriously, that's the kind of thing in your life you would hide?
I wouldn't hide. I would. 40 years later, Steve. Try 40 plus 30 years later for you. But I. You're not 40. You would have to be in your 50s for it to be 40 years ago. I would not tell that story. I would not tell that story. Hey, listen, go and, you're welcome to.
Is from the bowels of the New York Public Library on 42nd Street. All the sources that I had used were, I guess, ancient at the time, but they were all basically very pro Ku Klux Klan.
Well, yeah. Because you were in Democrat liberal New York City, and the Klan is a Democrat organization. Yeah.
And I took everything that I read as research, came out of the library, and I figured it was factual. And it woke me up when I got my paper back because he said this is stupid and naive. But I said it came out of the New York Public Library.
Well, you didn't tell people what it was, though. That's the part you're dancing around. The part with the topic.
I said it was research. The research that I used from the public library in New York City was dated back, written around the.
Yeah, but what you didn't say what the thesis of the paper was, though. That's what you're leaving out of the story, which I don't want to. I'll tell you off the air. I don't want to say. I do not want the words to be uttered with my voice publicly. I'll tell you off the air. I'm not going to say those words on the air. Not going to happen. Not in this day and age. Are you kidding me? It's bad.
I mean, it's not as.
It's bad. It's not fun. Those words will not be publicly said by me. The thesis of your term paper. I'm not going to do it. I don't want those words to be in my voice. Well, it's a long time ago. It would have been long forgotten if you didn't keep bringing it up. But I'm not going to say those words. I don't want no.
They weren't negative about the Klan.
Yeah.
I was accused of being naive.
Yes.
I believed the books that were in the.
Yes, but I'm not going to tell people not on the air. There's no way. No, I'll tell you off the air and remind you.
I'll tell the audience.
Well, I can't talk to you off the air until after the show at 9, so I guess you'll have to tell them on Monday. It'll be a cliffhanger. It'll be a cliffhanger till Monday's show. The phones are ringing like mad, so.
Horrible that what were we talking about? How horrible Fox News was.
Well, no. Well, let's just take some calls, and then we're talking about a few different things. But let me take some calls, and we'll get back onto that. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Yeah, the topic of it's bad. That's why I'm not going to say the words. I'm not going to say the words. Don't worry, Steve. No, I'm not. I'm not grandstanding. I know people want to know what the thesis of that paper was, and I'm not going to say it. All right, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Chris in Palm Beach.
Hey.
So I got some personal information. I moved to Melrose Park in Fort Lauderdale in 67 with my widowed mom, and she was dating a very charismatic man who turned out to be in the Klan and an evil dude, I swear. But he told me personally.
Lester, hold on. Maddox, you're talking about.
No. Melrose Park is in Fort Lauderdale. He's talking about Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Anyway, this guy told me that the tree where the last hanging took place, the lynching, was behind a diner on Stairway 84.
famous diner, and he actually got a piece of wood from the tree.
Yeah, that's not true. It was on Davie Boulevard. It's not. It was. I know a lot of people say that, but that's not where the Democrat sheriff lynched Reuben Stacy. I know a lot of people say that, but that's not true. It happened on Davie Boulevard. In fact, they just renamed part of Davie Boulevard Reuben Stacy Boulevard.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad to report, though, that the guy was later arrested by the FBI for selling a bazooka gun to an undercover agent. But,
Oh wow, you have an interesting circle of friends.
Growing up in Florida, it's a wonderful place, but real estate, and I can tell you, a lot of buildings built back then had blueprints that would say things like white bathroom, white water fountain, Negro bathroom, and it was just good.
And in fact, if you go to actually on Atlantic Avenue in Delray, they have the old I think it's the old City Hall. It's like a children's museum now, and it's on Atlantic Avenue, and for historical purposes, they've left it up there. It still says colored over the bathroom. Well, hey, it was run by Democrats back then, man. What do you expect? Democrats hate black people.
Yeah, Southern Democrats are us.
No, not Southern Democrats. Democrats do not like black people. Joe Biden's not a Southern Democrat. Joe Biden, and listen to this, caller. In 1979, when Jimmy Carter was president, Senator Joe Biden went to President Carter and asked him to allow private schools that receive federal monies to continue in 1979 segregation prohibiting African Americans from going to private schools. That Joe Biden did that in the Senate. So you don't have to be a Southern Democrat to be a racist. All Democrats are racist. Okay, he's in denial. He doesn't want to hear it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good. Well, we interrupted a conversation. Let's listen in.
You hear me?
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Name's Leslie, calling in from the great state of Arkansas. How y'all doing today?
Good.
So y'all, the whole point, I really want to come out here and talk to some other fellow people who understand me, because every time I try talking about my...
Oh, I feel a dump coming on, but let's find out.
Look, no racism intended here, of course, but
of course.
Right now is the role of the white man in society. Have you guys noticed that it has changed so significantly since back in the day? And like I said, every time I talk about this, liberals get mad. Those damn losers, fraudulent elections.
Yeah, all right. Now be more, listen, I understand. Seminar caller alert. We need to get a thing for that. Be more specific. Oh.
I know a white man, engineer, has got a PhD, real smart fellow.
Really?
Overqualified for thousands of jobs around the country. He remains jobless.
Okay, slow down. This is amazing. You know this guy? Okay, so hold on, seminar caller. We're up against a break. Since you know him, can you call him during the break and conference him in, and we'll talk to this PhD man who can't get jobs because the black man and affirmative action are taking him? Can we talk to him on the air after the break?
We can try.
We can try, exactly. Oh my gosh! As soon as I heard the accent, I knew we're in seminar caller territory. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. My name's Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. This is Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. That's right, celebrating 46 years on the radio. It is open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth.
Oh, he's not there?
Delivered morning 6 to
Play a
9
spot?
right
Do you have a
here
spot?
on The Steve Kane Show.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia. If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
Oh, that's him?
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting
Steve
vaccinated
Kane?
with
No.
Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20.
You can just come back, I guess.
A
If
Pfizer
that,
vaccine that can help protect
yeah.
against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and I want to tell you guys about this incredible vacation in August 15th to August 20th through the great and beautiful Canadian Rockies on the Rocky Mountaineer Train. This is a wonderful trip. It's a bucket list trip. It's a beautiful trip, and you can find all about it at briantrain.com. Go to Brian Train and request a brochure. The Rocky Mountaineer is a bi-level glass dome train. The top is a complete glass dome, so you get a great view as you're crossing beautiful Canada. It's a scenic route all the way, passes through tunnels, crosses the Great Continental Divide, mountain passes, canyons, wildlife, all kinds of excitement and beautiful things along the way. Of course, there's top-shelf beverages as well as incredible food prepared by chefs and served in the dining car. The tour ends in Vancouver. To learn more, go to briantrain.com and request a brochure. This tour, by the way, is perfect for anyone who loves beauty, nature, adventure, breathtaking landscapes, and beautiful weather, because August 15th through the 20th, here in Florida, it's going to be so hot and humid we won't even be able to breathe, right? Well, the weather is perfect in Canada this time of year. So go to briantrain.com and request a brochure. All right, Steve, let's go to the phones. They're ringing off the hook. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning, Steve.
Oh, I was hoping it was that PhD guy that can't get a job because he's so overqualified.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Steve here. Hey, Steve, did you see President Trump's address?
Yes, I did.
It was
yesterday? Great. It was great.
Did you see it on Fox?
No, it was not on Fox.
Why? You see, that's exactly the point of Carlson. When he gave that little 3-minute deal, he said that you're entertained by watching Fox because they have these back and forth on topics that don't affect the human life in this country. But anything of substance, Fox eliminates. And you're sitting there watching it. I mean, I'm going to criticize you for this one because, I mean, Brian is 100.
Wait a minute. Yesterday, I was not watching Fox yesterday. I was watching.
Newsbanks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you go right back to Fox, and yesterday you defended Fox by saying their entertainment during the day is top shelf. They're reporting, and I'm telling you that they're reporting. They're force-feeding stuff that doesn't mean anything, and you're being entertained.
Well,
meanwhile, the
it
real deal news.
doesn't mean anything to you because you're limited in what you want to explain.
Well, listen. President Trump's speech yesterday in New Hampshire was the most amazing speech President Trump has ever given. It was, and yeah.
I didn't miss that speech.
And yeah, because Newsmax carried it, and what President Trump did at the end was, well, Steve, I'm getting to it. Don't get so defensive. What President Trump did at the end was amazing when he took random questions from random people in the audience, and if you, oh my good, if you hold on, Richie, let me finish and then we'll gang up together, okay? Steve, if someone got their news from Fox News, they wouldn't even know that it happened. They didn't only not cover, they didn't cover it. Fox didn't cover it.
we live in hold on, man, calm down. I'm getting
We're trying to give Steve an out here, and he's not taking it.
I don't need help from you, okay? I don't need help from you. I'm telling you that I watch more than one source for news. If you don't want to watch more than one source for news, or if you want to go off on some silly crusade, bashing Ron
DeSantis?
free to do that. I don't think it's productive, and I hope the people around President Trump are smart enough to avoid some of the pitfalls that your way of thinking can.
Oh, I don't know. I this bobblehead Ron thing is big. Now, yeah.
Let me put it this way. There's a thing called overkill. We're in overkill territory now, and I think that I think this is going to be I know it sounds hard to believe this. In fact, when I say it, it's hard to believe my ears. But this is going to be a close election, okay? There's a streak of thought in this country that views Donald Trump, our great President Donald Trump, who I'm a major supporter of. Anyone who listens to this show knows that. I don't need to brag on my Trump credentials. But they view him as a heavy. They view him as somebody who is a hater, all these kind of things. And you got DeSantis is finished.
Oh, yeah.
Finished. Okay, it's over. It's like, when you're chopping down a tree trunk or whatever, a dead tree, the last couple swings of the axe before it falls, at a certain point you sit back and you let the tree just fall because it's dead, it's finished, it's over.
All right.
Nothing, when I'm finished, which is almost now, there is nothing to be gained from gloating or feasting on the corpse of the DeSantis campaign, okay? There's a thing called winning with grace. At this point, it's unnecessary. If you want to, let him hang out there and hit him another couple times, you want to do that. But to bully, there's a segment of people out there that are against Donald Trump that are going to take advantage of anything that's perceived as Trump being a bully or a heavy or anything like that. We need these people on our side in the long run. We've got to.
Steve, they're never going to be on our side. You're talking about Karl Rove and Jeb.
Rove is a professional,
No, Steve, listen. Let me share. Okay, Steve, let me explain to you here. I understand what you're saying, but see, we are.
I want to hear from your mouth what you think I'm saying. That's what
Well, Richie, don't worry. Just let us finish, and then I'll leave you on. Okay, it's 8 minutes till 8. We got time, so just hold your horses. What you're saying, Steve, is that you use the word overkill. That we're beating a man while he's down. That he's done, DeSantis, and we should lay off. Well, no, and I want to explain why I think you're wrong from what you said. Okay, on this program, we are several weeks ahead of the rest of the news. This bobblehead Ron thing that is starting with the polls in Japan is new to the rest of the public outside of the Steve Kane Show.
It's still productive to take a couple.
Oh, yes. President Trump did yesterday in New Hampshire. Yes.
Now that it has been done.
Well, no, I'll tell you why it's important, Steve. That the DeSantis, while he's on his Right Said Fred tour, and you Right Said Fred fans will get that joke, all three of you. What they did while he's gone is they've introduced the legislation to change Florida law to allow him to run for president and stay governor, and we got to keep this up until that's defeated. When that's defeated. And he can't run unless he resigns. Then we'll move on to Nikki Haley and whoever else is next. But when he announces he's not running, when this legislation doesn't pass in Tallahassee that he's trying to sneak through, then we can move on to the next traitor.
I have a different theory on this.
Go ahead.
My theory is this, okay? Ron DeSantis is a very smart man. He's not stupid. He's not naive. He knows, he sees the polls like everybody else, okay? But he's banking on one thing. He's banking on corporate news, like what you watch, Fox, and the undercutting, the people that are trying to show Trump as a bully and trying to discredit Trump, which is Fox at this point. And the fact of the matter is they're getting rid of all of the allies of Trump, right?
Yeah. See, Trump, Richie and Steve, Trump isn't a bully. They are. They've been investigating this guy for 7 years. They arrested him. They harass his family. They harass him. But he's the bully? Are you kidding me?
You know what Ron DeSantis is banking on? That we are taking our eyes off of the ball, and they're gonna indict Trump, and they're gonna try to do everything they can to prevent him from being the nominee of the Republican Party. And if he gets the nomination, they're gonna do everything in their power to get that he doesn't get elected, including Fox. And you're sitting there telling me, you've got a right to watch whatever you want, but they have turned on us, and you're.
Not watching Fox is a movement. I did a poll on my YouTube channel. I did a poll, and this is just on my YouTube channel. 5,900 people plus responded, just under 6,000. Over 5,900 people responded to my poll. Here was the question. Will you still watch Fox News? There's 3 choices. Nope, I'm done. 2, probably. 3, undecided. 10% say undecided. 12% say probably. And 79% say they are done with Fox News forever. This is a message that has to be sent. They're losing to MSNBC's no-name Chris Hayes now in prime time. And they haven't carried a Trump rally in years. They didn't carry the New Hampshire speech yesterday. They need to be brought down. I'm sorry.
President Trump has one major problem. Not only are the Democrats against him, but a major part of the Republican Party, which you are seeing, which we call the establishment, which we now call Fox News. Fox News is not on Trump's side anymore. They are against
Fox
Trump,
News,
and they're
Fox
trying.
News is not a single entity. Fox News is a corporation that has a ton of people working for it. Most of them, I bet you there is nobody more upset about what happened to Tucker Carlson than the people that work.
Well, Megyn Kelly yesterday, Megyn Kelly, who's on the inside with Tucker and all of them, on her show yesterday, Megyn Kelly was talking about what would happen if Tucker joined Newsmax. That was not an accident. Steve, everyone's allowed to do what they want, but what I'm telling you is a message needs to be sent to the uniparty traitors and the Paul Ryan establishment. And Fox News have done to us what DeSantis did, betrayed us.
Do you know the interview with Tucker? He did that on his own. The network did not okay that interview with President Trump. And what they have showed, Henry and Laura and all of them, that if you cross the line, we're done for you.
All right, listen, Richie, we got to run, but thanks for the call. Let's squeeze one more call in, and then we'll break. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay.
Hey, James.
Hey, guys. Everybody's arguing and fighting over this, and if you're on the right, you see, thanks to President Trump, who has showed us everything about the Main Street media, the liars in Congress, the liars in the Senate, the backstabbers on the Hill, realize that he is honest and he is true. Every politician that's been in there for more than 8 years pretty much is a liar and a thief.
Well, and this whole narrative that some perceive Fox as a bully, that's what those Karl Rove types think. That's the lie that they promote. He's no bully. He's no bully. Fox tells you that many people perceive him as a bully. The only people that present him as a bully are people that wouldn't vote for him if he was the only candidate on the ballot. Never Trumpers and Democrats.
Put it to Steve one way, what Richie was saying and what you're putting. At 6 o'clock, Steve, turn on Fox, and then turn on CNN, and then turn on MSNBC, and they're going to be saying the same thing verbatim.
That's correct. Same headline, same order. Hey, listen, we're out of time for the hour, but good point. All right, and he meant 6 p.m. by the way, not a.m. Okay, we're coming up on the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. There's one opening on our board. It is always open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Fridays. You're not limited to the topics we bring up. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here, back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach.
Be right back, guys. I got to go talk to Mike. Oh my goodness. Great calls today. I mean, just great calls. Okay. Appreciate it. Oh, man. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, subscribe. You'll love this channel, I promise you. Everyone, please like the video. There's over 1,200 in the live stream right now. Florida hates DeSantis right now. They really, he's done. He's not electable in Florida. Yeah, we were welcoming Wookiees back earlier. It's glad that the chat wasn't the same without Wookiees. I showed people the other day, my wife got me an Apple Watch for my birthday, and let me show you, look at my watch face. Is that a great, I just put this on a few days ago. It's awesome. Is that cool or what? Great watch face. That is the best Apple Watch face there is. I know, isn't that cool that Trump, the Trump is awesome on it. I love it. I couldn't figure out, I was surprised I could find really good Trump watch faces, and I found them on an app. This is my favorite one because he's like pointing at the time. I like that. Oh my goodness. Gretchen Carlson got really pissed off at me on Twitter. Did you guys see any of that? Oh, Crowder's done. Crowder is done. This is, You know, when it started when he recorded that guy from the Daily Wire and turned down that great offer. But this new thing with the wife and everything, he's done. He is done. Yeah, so after the show today, I'm going to the scooter, what's actually a motorcycle dealer, and I picked out the Maga Scooter 2.0, and I'm deciding on whether or not to buy it. It's really super cool, but I don't know. My wife and daughter say, buy it. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Steve, there's only one opening on our board of calls. This is amazing. We must have said something. Like that upset them. I don't know. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Oh, Greg too. Yes.
Yes, sir. Listen, I'm listening to you bash once again DeSantis, but you know what you and Ron DeSantis have in common? The most important thing of any aspect of your life. You know what you have in common?
Well, we're the same height. I stole his punchline! I stole his punchline! He thought he was going to humiliate me. Oh, he stole my punchline. Oh, it was awesome. Oh, yes. Yes, okay, let's hear the, yes. He's not going to admit it. Oh, yeah. Well, let's hear the...
So what was the punchline? If that wasn't it, what was the punchline?
No, there is no
punchline.
Oh, what was... He asked this question, do you know what you and DeSantis have in common? That was the buildup. Oh, my gosh. You know, doing a talk show on the radio, it's kind of like being a stand-up comic and dealing... The callers are like hecklers in a comic audience. Oh.
The president's speech yesterday, who is a recent convert to, sort of, she's not 100% yet, but she's leaning heavily towards Trump now. And she looked at me at a certain point in his opening speech. She said, he's like a stand-up comic. And I said, yes, you're getting it now. Humor is the vehicle by which he delivers his message. He's a satirist. And she said, oh, now I see what it is. It's meant to be, it's funny. Humor is the most effective way of making points. And that especially applies if you're in the talk business or in the news business. The most effective tool you have is your sense of humor. And no better example of that anywhere than Donald Trump.
Yeah, and my daughter, she's going back to California this weekend, Steve. She came and stayed with us for 2 weeks, and she's registering to vote out there as a Republican. And so she can vote for Donald Trump, and she'll be Blacks for Trump LA. She's going to join instead of joining BLM in LA, she's going to join Blacks for Trump LA. It's a secret group. They have to meet in secret under the cover of darkness. But, oh my goodness. I'm just savoring that moment with Greg too. Yeah, I'm just savoring that. That was awesome. All right, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh my goodness.
You guys have me laughing. It's Berta from Texas.
Yes.
Hello. Listen, I just make sure y'all keep it up because I want people to know that if Ron DeSantis, right, what he's trying to do is he's trying to turn everything, his travel schedule, Floridians can't see it, the use of the state plane, all that is Floridian taxpayers' money. The visitor logs in the governor mansion, all that.
You're making it too complex. It's beyond that. He's finished.
Forever.
I hope so, because there's people that really don't live in Florida that are really considering DeSantis too, because if he hasn't announced,
it's not going to get. He's going to drop out.
See what's happened, Bert,
as
Well, he's not bright.
as his followers are giving him credit for, he will definitely drop them. Vague prayer he has of a political future is to limit his damages by dropping out now, supporting Trump, and praying that people.
See what happened, Berta, is this new bobblehead Ron thing that has started in the media. Bobblehead Ron with that thing in Japan. We were talking about that days ago. It's just made. Oh yeah, and the Bob once a presidential candidate becomes an object of ridicule, they're done. It's in yeah.
So you give yourself credit for all these things. Where did you pick up that phrase that?
See, this is what I'm talking about with the ad. Oh, that's you. That's you. You told me that long ago. Steve, I don't have. If I gave you credit for everything that I do on the air that I learned from you, all I would be doing was giving you credit all the time. Like, I mean, you guys. When I first started doing this, when I first started doing this, like 30-something years ago, callers would just. I was like being just victimized by the callers when I first started. I wasn't, it took me, and I'll just tell people real quick since Steve wants some praise. I did an overnight live talk show with open phones from 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. on the radio in Fort Lauderdale. And it was not easy. It was a 3-hour show. And what Steve would do, Steve's kids were in high school in Orlando. Steve with his second wife, and Steve would drive to Orlando every weekend to see his kids. And you would have me record the show on cassette tape, and you would listen to it on your drive to Orlando over the weekend. And then on Mondays, you'd go through the show with me and tell me what I did wrong and how I could have done this and done that and such things. And that's how I learned how to do this. But, But anyway, that's, so Steve gets credit for anything I do. So, okay, so. Well, I'm trying. I want to tell you something. Guys. This is crazy. Before 2000, Fox News was not very watched. People didn't watch it. And as crazy as this sounds, MSNBC was the political cable news network of record. And we were all on that. And they back in those days, they used to take calls from viewers live on the air on MSNBC. I used to call in all the time. And Steve was all into MSNBC as I was in the audience because it was new then. Okay, it was new. It wasn't what it is now. It was different. And Fox News, after the 2000 recount in Florida, got popular. And I spent about a year or two getting Steve off of MSNBC to Fox. And now I'm trying to get him off of Fox that I drove him to years ago, and it's not easy.
Gentlemen, we're in a new era. So people who watch the news on television average 65, 68 years old. We're in a new era. So all they're trying to do, they're using those old techniques to try to erase Trump. But if we keep going and keep doing what we're doing online and everything.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
You
yes
must
sir.
understand about my view. Most people, when you ask them, well, who do they follow, what do they watch, they'll tell you who their favorite primetime hosts are. Okay? Most of the television that I watch is, a deal of it is in prime time, but most of it is in the daytime hours. I tune on at 12 o'clock when, what's her name?
What, outnumbered?
And this is my question to you. Do you think when they announced that Tucker was no longer going to be on the air at Fox News, do you think of all the people employed in the building, if you took a poll of how they felt at that moment, do you think they were upset and not supportive of that move, or do you think they'd be going, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, they were excited because it's because it was it's an opportunity. There's a new time slot. You got and they got a whole bunch of people that want it. You got Kilmeade, who sweats all the time on TV. Who's that guy on the weekends that's in the army with all that all likes to, you know? Exactly. Go. Yeah, they all want that time slot, so they were excited. Yes, they got somebody out of the way. It's the Hunger Games over there. Hey, listen, we gotta run, Berta, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, and it's time to check in with your attorney, Steve. Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Hey, Barry.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
All right.
Good. Well, estate planning is one of those areas. It may not be the most exciting area of the law. You don't tune into movies and TV shows where there's a lot of shows and movies on estate planning, and and if there's ever an issue where that comes up, they have to try to make these reading of the wills to try to make it exciting, and that doesn't really happen. So when I give my workshops, a lot of times I'm like, okay, who's ready to spend an hour talking about end-of-life issues and disability issues? Kind of kidding around. I mean, we all at least I remember enjoying watching, some of these great courtroom dramas from the past. Paul Newman and The Verdict, and Gregory Peck in To Kill a Mockingbird, and L.A. Law and all that. But estate planning, while it's not exciting, it is exciting when you think about it, because we are taking care of our families. We're taking care of the people we love. We're protecting the money that we've worked for our whole life and we've saved our whole life. We're making sure that we're not going to go broke or leave our loved ones broke. We're making sure that they don't have to spend a ton of money on probate and wait a long time, and we're making sure the right people get our assets and the wrong people don't. So that part of it, I would say, is the exciting part.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be great for movies, but hey, it's
I don't know. I think it could be exciting. A lot of movies actually take place about estate planning not being done properly. People start killing each other and everything in the movie. A lot of murder mysteries are because the estate planning wasn't done. Barry, if you think about it, I tell you one thing about estate planning that a lot of it's important that you talk about, but that probate that goes on forever and ever and costs a lot of money. Think about how much you've saved and sacrificed financially over your life for your family, and think about all that sacrifice going to probate attorneys. That's just an awful thing. And it doesn't have to be that way. It is always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. You can find them online at siegellawgroup.com or call toll-free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week.
all right. Same to you, gentlemen. Take care.
All right, back after this.
FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us at Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, we are back. The phones are cooking, Steve.
Pick up where we left off. I understand now why some of you are a little flawed in your thought process. That question about how people felt throughout the building when they heard that Tucker was no longer going to be employed at Fox News. And your reaction was, oh, there's a chair for me. No, no wonder you're so confused. No, that's not the average reaction. The average person doesn't visualize themselves sitting in Tucker's chair. That's not what happens. What happens is they understand they work for a major entity in Fox News. They understand better than anybody else how this is going to affect in a negative way on their job, their company that they work for, their future earnings, and all of them are put at risk by this bad decision by management, self-serving, political hack decision by management. Okay, so believe you me, Tucker has more friends at Fox than you can imagine.
I wouldn't be so sure.
A lot of them are the news people during the day and stuff like that. They understand what he means to their future and what Tucker means.
Steve, come on. I remember once. I don't know if you want to mention names, but well, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. But I remember one person at a radio station we worked at left, and during a commercial break, you and the station manager high-fived each other. I remember that. I know. So you know what it's. Come on. It was you and Lou about Norm Kent. Norm Kent quit on the air, and then Lou walked into the studio during the break, and you and him high-fived each other. I remember that.
Well, let's put it this way: Norm Kent.
And then Joyce was 6 seconds later angling for the job. You know, so that's how it works.
None of the people that you're talking about are Tucker Carlson. Okay. There were people that
Steve Hannity hates Tucker. You think Hannity likes Tucker? He's jealous of him.
Sorry, that's different.
What you think Jesse Waters? You think he misses Tucker? I don't think so.
It's two.
All right. The phones are ringing like mad. It's open phones. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi guys, it's Stacy from Deerfield Beach.
Hey.
I just wanted to say that since you guys have been on the air this past week, number one, I like Ron DeSantis. He got us out of COVID. He made us, he didn't restrict us. I mean, the economy was okay.
Oh, really? Really? Hold on. Slow down. You're in Deerfield. Okay. Okay. And I love Deerfield Beach. Deerfield Beach was the first Florida beach I went on. Let me finish. You say he saved us during COVID. What kind of access did you have to the sand part of Deerfield Beach during COVID?
I'm not talking about the beach.
It was shut down. The beaches were shut down in Florida. The Deerfield Beach was shut. The Boca Beach was shut. So I don't know what you're talking about being open during the COVID. There's a little revisionist memory going on there. I remember the deputies stopping us from going on the sand.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, can I finish?
Yes, you can.
Please?
Go
Can
ahead.
I finish?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. What I'm saying is that he didn't open up the beach or whatever the case might be.
He did not
but
open the beach.
He didn't shut down businesses. People were able to work. Where everywhere else in the United States.
Slow down. So Deerfield Beach. So you mean to tell me, I'm using Deerfield Beach because that's where you're calling from. You mean to tell me well, that's great. And I've been going there since you lived there. It was the first beach I went to when I was 5 years old was Deerfield Beach, okay? So you mean to tell me Ron DeSantis, during COVID, when the beach was being shut down and they had sheriff's deputies down there with guns if you stepped on the sand, you're telling me that Flanagan's over there on Deerfield Beach, I could go sit there with my family and have a meal during COVID under Ron DeSantis' run? Well, okay. So things were shut down in Florida.
Well, hold on. Let me just say a word, and I appreciate your call, and I appreciate your.
I mean, I think he's a great governor. I think he is.
It's fine that he's a great governor. Let's put it this way. But when push comes to this is what's important. Right now, it doesn't matter what a great governor he would or wouldn't be. What matters right now is who do I want sitting in that chair when the President of the United States flies over to Russia to negotiate with Putin, okay? And I can tell, well, let me let you.
Oh, I will agree with, I'm going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, okay, all right. So that's what we're saying. So what's it, so what's your point? Having established that, what's your point?
The fact of the matter is that Brian is going after you for watching Fox. Whatever you want to watch. So whatever Tucker Carlson, I think he was great. He's a great, anchor. And it's going to lead him to other places. It's not going to stop
He'll be
him.
fine. Tucker will be fine.
Exactly. And it's just like, Brian, you just sometimes, you've changed.
Well, no, I've not changed. Excuse me, I've not changed. DeSantis did. Listen, when this Soros hack, Bragg, said he was going to come to Florida and arrest our great president, Ron DeSantis was asked about it at a press conference. He said, I'm not going to interfere. He was going to let them come down here and snatch a Floridian, one of his constituents, because he wanted Trump out of the way so he could get the nomination. He's a liar. He has lied to us. He lied to Trump to get his endorsement. He can't be trusted. He's done some good things as governor. Don't misunderstand me. But he lied to President Trump. He was going to allow President Trump to be arrested. And he's had multiple opportunities to walk that back, and he made it worse. So I'm sorry.
Didn't make it, his polls increased. So how does it make it worse for him?
Because recently he has made, come back to this theme because I want people to apply this to their own lives. Of late, Ron DeSantis, when it comes to politics, has made a series of horrible political decisions, and they have cost him his career at this point, which he is a long shot, but if he backed out now, maybe he could resurrect it in the future. But at the rate he's going, he's never going to hold political office again.
Well,
especially now that the bobblehead has emerged.
I mean, it's just that kind of. I mean, I just don't know. You guys have changed since you've still good. I mean, it's just I listened to your show for years, and it's just like since you've syndicated with this oldie station, you've gotten bigger and everything. It's just like you guys changed. You guys got
yeah. What? How have we changed? Be specific.
Being specific, you've gotten ruder.
I think I don't listen. I've not gotten ruder. It's just you and I are disagreeing about something, and in the past we really haven't. Not nothing big. And Ron DeSantis, you just don't see DeSantis the way that President Trump sees him, and I see him, and there's a disagreement there on something pretty big. And you're
The said about Ron DeSantis are true.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Field of late.
But listen, we got to run for our break. But thanks for the call. All right, and I know you do call semi-regularly. You're a good caller, and I always love Deerfield. All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
What she was trying to say is she thinks we've changed because we've gotten bigger, and I think the opposite is true. I think we're very much the same.
Like she's saying all the good stuff that DeSantis did, filtering this and that. And what about Fort Lauderdale and the flooding?
Exactly.
Away from Florida.
Exactly.
She doesn't want to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. My goodness. There's one opening on the board. Well, DeSantis, DeSantis was wanting Trump. President Trump's lawyer in this Bragg case said any other candidate for office, if they got indicted, would drop out except Trump. And DeSantis and these creeps behind him from the Bush family and all these people, they thought Trump was going to get arrested and he wouldn't have the support, he'd lose his support, and then he'd walk into the nomination. And DeSantis couldn't keep his mouth shut. He got so excited about it that he went and started running his mouth and exposed himself. And people are pissed. I mean, yes or no? Are you pissed at DeSantis, MAGA people? Come on. He just can't be trusted. Yeah. And it's not over. We got to keep exposing him until he's not running. I mean, if you think about it, what President Trump did in the first campaign when he had primaries, he singled out whoever was closest to him. He singled them out, and then when they were out, he went after the next. You know. So that's what we got to do. Exactly. Now, by the way, guys, I was telling you all yesterday about the My Pillow My Slippers special. They sold out. With that, they sold out of the My Pillow My Slippers. But I'll tell you, a great Mother's Day gift is that My Pillow 2.0 with the cooling technology. My wife and I have these. If you go to mypillow.com, and I got a link to our My Pillow page in the chat. If you're not watching live, in the description, but you can go to mypillow.com on your own. With our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, the My Pillow 2.0 with cooling technology is buy one, get one free. It makes a great Mother's Day gift. Buy one, get one free. The 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, they are 50% off right now with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can take advantage of all the specials there with our promo code. There are great, great specials for Mother's Day. The My Pillow bathrobes, they have many different styles and colors. They have heavy robes, light robes, just $59.98. They make a great Mother's Day gift with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Let's see, line. Well, and then that video came out where he's was supporting climate change. He said he could see the seas rising around Florida. Remember that? Oh, my goodness. Oh, they've lost half their viewers. 50% of the viewers have left. Yeah, Kathy and I will catch up on podcast over the weekend and next week as well, because our daughter's been in town. We've been spending time with her. She's going home this weekend, That picture in the thumbnail is when he was answering the question. That's the moment the bobblehead Ron descriptor came from. Every line on the board is lit.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, every line on the board is lit, Steve, and this person's been hanging on about half an hour. So, good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Ivy and Brown. Hey, Steve, good morning. Brian. You made me feel really nervous yesterday, on a personal, selfish note, when you grabbed your card. It made me feel like when that priest called you on that cruise before COVID,
I got a bad connection, so I'm not really understanding what you're saying. I'm going to give you a little break because you've been on hold for 29 minutes when I took your call. So we'll give you. I don't want to just let it blow you off too quick. So let's try again. Your connection is poor.
Is it bad now?
It's a little better. So what were you saying?
I'm doing a little walking, fast walking. No, I'm saying I was like concerned about you yesterday when you grabbed your chest. It made me feel like that when that guy called you on that cruise before the COVID that he was talking.
Oh, the stalker. Yeah. The crew. Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I did have chest pains yesterday, but probably having 8 shots of espresso, and on top of Steve aggravating me, that's what that was. I was not having. Yeah.
We need you. And Steve Kane Show is like my coffee, and you are the espresso. So we need you to calm down, do some woosah, some serenity now, and bring something good from the office. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'll start smoking weed. I don't know, like the liberals. I don't know. Might help. All right, take care. Yeah, go ahead. Last word.
Like I said, it's just a chess piece. He's never been on his own and infiltrated. He's always a part of the group. So he has to do what he's told. Otherwise, he's exiled, excommunicated, ostracized, no more funding, no more backing. So he was part of.
What happened? This update, Steve, with the bobblehead Ron thing. I came up with the bobblehead portion of that, okay? But what happened is, I want to get credit because that's going to start to pick up bobblehead Ron. What happened is they brought a body language expert, and it's the lead story in the Daily Mail this morning, to analyze his body language in Japan when they pointed out that he's, so far behind Trump in the polls. And the body language expert described what he was doing as a wobble, so I turned it into bobblehead Ron. The Bushes are going to drop him quick. They're going to realize real soon he's no use to them. They're going to drop him. You'll see.
Okay.
Not during the show, but sometime soon. All right, listen, thank you for the call. All right, every line on the board is lit. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Maria from Texas.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, yeah, actually 2 things. The one thing was somebody mentioned about, you having changed after the growth with this new oldies station. And I think that caller couldn't be more wrong because, and I say this as someone who hoped that you wouldn't change following the acquisition by the other, by the new management. I think you guys are fantastic. I mean, I think, my God, if you could become the new Rush Limbaugh and go national, I think, we need you.
Yeah, and I'll do it. I'll do it for half of what they paid Rush.
Yeah.
Listen. Let me tell you. I do appreciate it, and Steve and I have been together for a long time, and we've been through some long, hard days and nights with this show over the years that we don't always share on the air. Guys don't, And I have such a great, as does Steve, a love and appreciation for every listener in this audience, even the ones we are, like the Greg Twos. Everyone who listens to this show and supports this show, and the sponsors and our radio station, the appreciation that we have for all of you, you don't understand. It'd be embarrassing if I'd start crying if I started telling you, because you guys make the show possible.
And every now and then I don't agree with you, and every now and then I guess I get myself banned from commenting on your stream, and that's fine. I still love you, and I still give you a like, and I continue to listen. But the other thing that I wanted to mention, Brian, was this Fox News thing that Steve keeps harping on, that Fox News is not just Geraldo Rivera or Tucker or Laura or whoever, right? That it's the people behind the camera. And it is. And you know what? I work for a big employer too, and there are things that I don't like that my bosses have asked us to do. But at the end of the day, you need that bloody paycheck, and you're gonna just,
Well, listen, Sean Hannity left his wife that stood by him when he was digging ditches trying to make it on the radio. So, and he's got an alimony like nobody. Jesse Waters is married to his former mistress, and he has a massive, was cheating on the mother of his children, when he was stalking her in the garage, and they got massive alimonies and bills and things, but in broadcasting, everyone that's on except me, because I'm very much insecure of myself, as is Steve. Steve and I are very level-headed and things, but in general in broadcasting, everyone thinks that they would be a big star if only this one other person was out of the way. And when the announcement came about Tucker, believe me, Will Kane is angling for that. Who's that guy on the weekends that's in the Army that's always challenging guys to do athletic? No, that's not Will Kane. The other, you know what I'm talking about? The guy with. Okay, well, you got some of you know who I'm talking about, and so.
The blonde guy?
No, he's got black hair. He's on the weekends on Fox. He's angling for it. And believe me.
Younger, kill me.
Yeah, and Hannity, Tucker Carlson, it was so good. He made Hannity seem boring, and he's so glad to get Tucker out of the way because he was making him look bad. Okay, that's how these people think. There's egos. It's talent, and that's how they are. Steve, remember that show I did, the 20-something show, where I had 16 co-hosts over the course of 9 months. I got every one of them to quit. You know how hard it is to get people to quit on the radio? I got 16 Oh my goodness, it's a cutthroat business. And over at Fox, they've told themselves, MAGA left us before, they'll come back again. And it's important that they get the message quick that we're not coming back. President Trump, this is not a regular candidate. President Trump is leader of a civil rights movement of Americans to take our country back from the deep state and donors and China and all these other creeps. He's like yeah.
The people behind the scenes are not going to do anything. They may be unhappy about the fact that Tucker's gone, but at the end of the day, they've got, mortgages to pay and kids to feed, and they're not going to walk away from a good job, just because of
that.
Yeah.
Karl Rove is just a political hack. I think anybody that follows the business and knows what's going on understands that. He's a partisan political hack. He's a high...
And a lot of people don't realize this. Karl Rove gets so much credibility and time on Fox because he's a campaign manager and he's a big ad buyer for Fox in general nationwide. He buys his way in there.
Said about Karl Rove, in my opinion, that he's a hired gun, a political hack. Has no political integrity at all, and his judgments are tainted, severely tainted by his business interests. And no, I don't take him seriously anymore.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to hear that, Steve.
People are like that.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Is getting some of the audience, and like I said, I haven't watched Fox News since 2018. But
wow,
said I started turning on my TV and just letting it run on Newsmax all.
Yeah. Well, listen, we gotta run for the Gold Report, but thank you for the call. All right, listen, the rest of you on hold, stand by. After the Gold Report, we've got one more segment left on Open MAGA Mike Friday. We're going to try to get to as many calls as we can in the last segment. So, there's only one opening on the board. So what I'd like to ask you guys to do that are on hold are collect your thoughts, and whatever you want to talk about, start with the best thing and jump right into it so we can get as many people. I know a lot of you have been on hold for 30, 40 minutes and more, and we're going to get to you as fast as we can, but try to get to your main idea and point at the top of the call if you can. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. So how we ending the week with the metals, William?
Looks like we might end it down. We'll see how the day plays out, but right now gold down $7.80. Yesterday we saw gold just gain 20 cents after trading in a range of $1,974 all the way up to $2,004. Closing out the day at $1,888 or $1,988.80. That was up 20 cents. Silver closed out the day up 6 cents at $24.92 the ounce, while platinum was down $8 at $1,079, and palladium was down $8 at $1,426. This morning we got gold, as I said, down $7.80 right now at $1,981. The range seems to be developing for gold to trade from about $1,980 up to about $2,000. We'll see what that range continues to today. Silver down 7 cents at $24.85, while platinum is down $7 at $1,072, and palladium is up $4 at $1,430. The dollar seems a little bit stronger today, and that's giving a little pressure on the metals.
Well, you know, when you tell us what gold's down, I mean, at these numbers, you know, at almost $2,000, it's really not much. And you know, people that are involved in the metals markets, when you hear the metals are down, or hear that, to me, what I hear is the metals are on sale today. And this is a great day to stop in or call William Youngerman. And if you're not in the metals, get in them. This is the time to do it. On a moment like this. So William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can call at 10 and lock in that price. His number toll free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk Monday. All right, back after this.
Social justice warriors for breakfast. Now that.
All righty, we're back. Callers on hold, stand by. I got to tell everyone about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, who is just an amazing, amazing chiropractic physician. He has rid me of terrible pain, 3 different types of pain, and 3 different parts of my body, right? First, my years of suffering from knee pain from my skateboarding accident. Then he rid me of arthritis. Then 3 weeks ago today, he rid me of that terrible shoulder pain, and he did it all with his laser away pain treatment. It works. Being in pain is not a part of growing old. Go and talk to Dr. Appleton about his laser away pain treatment, all right? Even if you've had surgery and you're still in pain, go talk to him. If you've been told you need surgery, go see Dr. Appleton first, okay? You know, I don't know if you have this experience, Steve. I've known a lot of guys that have gotten knee surgery because they've been in pain or something. I've never had a friend of mine who's had knee surgery say, man, I got that knee surgery and I'm pain-free. Usually what they say is, oh, my second surgery scheduled for, you know, September or something like that. Laser away pain treatment works. And I was talking to Dr. Appleton a couple days ago, and he told me something I couldn't believe. You know, he said a lot of doctors like him, they put people on like these payment plans where they pay for a bunch of treatments and everything else. Dr. Appleton is pay as you go. You know, with my knee, 2 treatments gone. My arthritis, 1 treatment gone. My shoulder, 1 treatment gone. And none of my pains have returned. He's open Monday through Saturday. Walk-ins are welcome and appointments are not necessary even on Saturdays. Find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. All right, let's go to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. How you doing? I'm calling. Hey, I'm jumping right in. I hear you talking a whole lot about Trump, but don't you know Trump starts the apocalypse?
Talk about who? Trump? Trump starts the apocalypse?
He starts the apocalypse. Because the thing is that he's going to bring confusion to this nation. You think he's going to make this nation better? He's going to make this nation worse than what it is.
Okay, now let me. I want to talk to you here. You're a black man in America, right? Okay. Yes. There's no need to be embarrassed. Why are you down about that? I mean, I don't understand. Well, I mean, yeah?
Make good on.
Okay. No. You're a black man in America. President Trump, in his first term, is responsible for the highest rate of employment among African Americans in the history of the employment statistics. That sounds like a good thing, doesn't it?
But what happened when the COVID first?
No. You don't change the topic. That means that more African Americans could afford a good life for their families than ever before in the history of this country. And you don't want to talk about that. Did Trump do something good with that?
Trump knew COVID.
No. See, he wants to change the topic. Okay. Next, President Trump has overturned Roe v. Wade. Tens of thousands of babies have been born because of President Trump. Many of them are babies of color, African American babies. Is that a good thing that Donald Trump did? Is it? Well, I don't know, and certainly Trump's not responsible for that. But it seems that I'm bringing up a lot of positive things that President Trump has done for blacks in this country, and you just want to ignore them. Why is that?
Trump holding up the white power sign. Okay, Trump is.
What are you talking about? Excuse me. You said Trump held up the white power sign. You're talking about with the thumb and the finger together? I'm a big fan of Eddie Murphy. If you look at Eddie Murphy's films, including Beverly Hills Cop, he ends his movie, every one of them, with that same hand signal. Is Eddie Murphy a white supremacist?
Trump got y'all fooled. Yep.
Trump's got y'all fooled, and I'm just not going to listen, All right. What you talking about, Willis? I don't know. Good morning. You're on the air. What an idiot. I'm sorry. I mean, come on. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, boy. They put the phone down. Once. Twice. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing?
All right.
I'm sorry. Good morning. This is Maria from Florida. How you doing?
Hey, Maria. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm dealing with some foot issues. But other than that, I'm fine.
What happened? What's wrong with your foot? You're in pain?
Yeah, I got that that thing called the Rockefeller foot. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Struggling with it, but I'm trying to see a doctor now. But what I called to say about my Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, let's hear this quickly. Hear me and hear me good. I am done with this guy. This guy walking around town, not doing anything for Florida right now, but making speeches and saying what he's done with Disney. I'm over that. All I have to say to him, I have no words for Fox News. Fox News been promoting Ron DeSantis for months now. And now it's clear day, after Trump's speech yesterday, they did not one time show any coverage of that speech.
And I'll tell you something. Okay? President Trump, when he took the questions and answers at the end, which random people and random questions, like us with our screenless calls, one of the reasons he did that is because the senile, corrupt old coot Joe Biden, with the cards with the reporters' questions and answers written on them, was in the news. And that was the big news story yesterday. But the Q&A, President Trump did that so we could see the difference between the senile old criminal and somebody who's got their wits about them. And they still didn't even do the compare and contrast to that, I bet, on Fox.
They did, and I don't, like I said, I understand, seeing your buddy, he likes to watch, Fox News. I used to watch it too, but I've come to the conclusion, why would I watch that? People are free to do what they want to do. I'm not criticizing anybody, but I will not be watching it, because my thing is, if we have a man at the top of our ticket, the former president of the United States, running for office again, and you cannot cover him not one time, at least cover one of his rallies.
And keep in mind, they've lost half of their audience. And at some point, they're going to pull some stunt and do something to try to get people back over there. And even when they lost half their audience, they chose not to carry President Trump. And I would love to know the ratings numbers between Newsmax and Fox during that beautiful speech by the president yesterday in New Hampshire. I bet you Newsmax whipped their butts.
Morning.
Yeah.
I think I heard it this morning. I think I might be wrong, 1.3 million people watch it because they was showing it this morning. Some clips on Newsmax this morning that I was listening to before.
Yeah. Well, listen, Maria, we got to run, but thanks for the call. You made some excellent points. Okay, thank you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Helen, Massachusetts.
Yes, Helen.
Hi. The person you wanted the name of is Pete Hegseth.
Yes, Pete Hegseth. Yes, you think he's angling for Tucker's slot?
Oh, probably. They probably all are.
Yes. Pete Hegseth is not happy that Tucker's gone, I promise you.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you. Hey, I'm calling about Laura Loomer. She posted on Getter that Ron DeSantis is trying to take credit for the American embassy in Jerusalem.
Get out of town. I listen, Laura Loomer's, she's a friend of mine, and she had that thing happen where Ron DeSantis's people wouldn't let her in the bookstore, the Trump people, and I didn't believe her. And then after what happened, I called Laura off the air. This wasn't on the air. And I said, Laura, I will never challenge anything you say again. I just can't believe. I'll never doubt you again, Laura, I told her. So if Laura Loomer says that DeSantis is over there trying to take credit for moving the embassy, it must be true. Oh, my goodness.
I've never known her to be Ron.
No, she's not.
I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Well, say she's Ron, and she has this, I don't know, she's very intuitive about certain things.
Well, she's very well connected, and this thing about them introducing that legislation to change Florida law so DeSantis can run for president and be governor. She broke that story. Someone in the state legislature leaked it to her. She's the Hey, listen, thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sarah from Florida.
Yes, sir.
I hope, I pray every day. I can't wait for 24, actually 25 when he's in. I don't know if I can wait any longer for Trump being. This economy is just killing it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Newsmax, I watched the New Hampshire.
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good.
What President Trump did in the beginning, he listed off like 50 names or something. Those names he listed, he started the speech with all these names. Those were names of elected officials in New Hampshire that have endorsed him for the 2024 presidency. And that was amazing.
Nuno's trying to run too. He's a joke, Nuno.
He's a what?
Joke.
Oh, I thought she said something else. The only reason he's anybody is because his daddy was somebody, and he's a jerk. He's another jerk. Yeah.
Question though: if Trump was not in he's enjoying his life, would you have voted for DeSantis?
Well, we wouldn't have known about DeSantis. See, DeSantis got excited, right? His wife started dressing like Melania and Jackie Kennedy. She was back and forth day to day. He got excited and he blew his cover. It was like Stalag 17. He blew it. Remember that? Yeah, he blew his cover, and we found out he was a Donnie Brasco. He was fake MAGA. We wouldn't have known about it. And he thought if Trump got arrested, yeah,
is or was the best governor. And the thing I get.
Well, was he?
People like Andrea who have a crappy governor and always going to have a crappy governor and Pennsylvania will never know, New Jersey will never know what it's like to have a really good governor. And I'm very disappointed in him. As a mother, as a citizen, I'm like, it's almost like you wanted this.
Yeah.
So it's like, why'd you cheat, son? Why'd you cheat on your test?
Well, listen, we're out of time for the week, so you're the last call of the week, so that's an honor. The rest of you on hold, listen, the show's over, but we'll be back Monday at 6 a.m. If you'd like to hold on over the weekend, you're welcome, and you'll be right in front of the line of calls on Monday. Oh, by the way, Al Knight, he is on all of our radio stations, noon to 4, Saturday and Sunday. You guys remember Al Knight? He goes back with Steve and I several decades. At several radio stations, so check out Al Knight on the weekends, noon to 4, and of course we'll be back on Monday morning. This has been an exciting week. Great calls today, guys, and thank you everyone who called and participated today. Every call today, even Greg too, was a very good caller because it gave me an opportunity to humiliate him. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump. See you Monday.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD.
All right, guys, I got to get out of the way here, but thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the